Y'all thought it couldn't get any worse for Diddy? Well, surprise. The Barbs just dropped a bomb so messy, even the Shade Room had to clutch its pearls. Because according to internet whispers, and now, a suspiciously timed leaked clip, there's a whole new level to the Diddy-Meek drama. And guess who's holding the camera? Yep, Miss Nicki Minaj herself. Let's just say, this wasn't your average VIP after-party. Rumors of freak-offs and industry puppeteering? Child's play compared to what's being whispered now. Because this footage allegedly shows Meek Mill and Diddy caught in a moment no man wants screenshotted, slowed down, and looped on Black Twitter. And if what we're hearing is true, Meek might need more than a Twitter rant to recover from this one. How did Nicki get the footage? Why did she wait until now to drop it? And why does everyone in the room look like they signed an NDA they instantly regretted? Grab your popcorn because this isn't just tea. This is an industrial-sized spill with glitter, tension, betrayal, and maybe a little golden splash on the side. Let's break it all down. Let's set the scene. A dimly lit penthouse suite in Miami. Glittering bottles of 1942 lined up like trophies, the bass from some unreleased Diddy track thumping low in the background. People whispering, eyes darting, and somewhere in the corner, Nicki Minaj allegedly holding a phone, quietly recording. Because according to newly leaked footage, that's now allegedly bouncing around in encrypted fan group chats and dark TikTok alleys. What went down that night was not just a party. It was an event, a ritual, a humiliation. And the stars of the show? None other than Meek Mill and Diddy, caught in a moment so personal, so unexplainable. Even Barbs are confused whether to be shocked, disgusted, or just entertained. So how did we get here? Let's rewind the mess for a second. You see, the beef between Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill has always been spicy, the kind of breakup that never really ends, just simmers until someone drops a tweet, an interview clip, or in this case, a whole alleged video. Back in the day, they were hip-hop's sick couple, trading verses and kisses on red carpets, like they were in a Love and Bars fairy tale. But we all know how that ended. Public spats, shade thrown like ninja stars, and accusations of abuse, betrayal, and worse. But now, with Diddy's empire slowly crumbling under multiple lawsuits, and his former allies either vanishing or spilling tea to the feds, suddenly Nicki's timing makes sense. Because nothing screams revenge with receipts like a leaked clip that makes both Meek and Diddy look like they're auditioning for a reality show titled Men Who Fold Under Pressure. And according to insiders, you know, the anonymous Twitter users with anime avatars and suspicious access, Nicki didn't just accidentally stumble upon this footage. Oh no, she's been sitting on it, plotting, waiting for just the right moment to burn it all down. And what's allegedly in this clip? Brace yourselves. Apparently, it shows Meek Mill in what fans are calling a compromising position. Not necessarily illegal, but definitely questionable for someone who still calls himself a street king. Let's just say he wasn't exactly rapping, and Diddy wasn't exactly in the background. The clip is short, under a minute, but the internet didn't need more than 10 seconds to go into meltdown mode. Barbs immediately went into FBI mode, slowing the video down, enhancing audio, matching wall decor to photos from Diddy's past parties. And it didn't take long before hashtag #MeekExposed and hashtag #NickiLeaks started trending faster than Meek could log off Twitter. Now here's where things get really spicy. Sources close to Nicki, and yes, by sources, we mean that one friend of a backup dancer who spilled on IG Live, claimed that Nicki didn't just leak the footage for revenge. Oh no, this was about justice. About setting the record straight after years of Meek throwing shade and pretending he didn't know what kind of parties Diddy was hosting behind closed doors. Because let's not forget, Diddy has been under fire for months now. Lawsuits, leaks, bodyguards flipping, assistants suddenly gaining moral clarity. Every day, it feels like another part of his carefully built empire is collapsing. And Meek? He's been tiptoeing around the mess like a man who knows he's one breadcrumb away from being dragged into the pit. He's tweeted denial after denial, offered bounties for anyone spreading gay rumors, and even posted emotional rants about how nobody ever offered him drugs, and he's too solid to be approached like that. But here's the problem. If you're this defensive, what exactly are you hiding? The footage that allegedly came from Nicki doesn't answer everything, but it raises enough questions to set the internet on fire. Why was Meek even at that party? Why was he wearing matching silk pajamas with Diddy? Why did someone in the background yell, "That's not how he likes it, bro"? And why does Nicki Minaj, of all people, have a copy of this video? Let's go deeper. Because this isn't just about what happened. It's about the pattern, the whispers, the build-up. Remember when Nicki went live with Soulja Boy and casually shaded Meek for being one of those industry boys who act hard in public but cry in silk sheets? Yeah, we thought it was petty subtext too. But in light of this footage, that quote hits different. And then there's the timing. Why leak this now? Why drop the bomb just as Diddy's legal team is scrambling and Meek's doing interviews about his upcoming rebrand? Well, one theory says Nicki is sending a message. That this is her "I tried to keep quiet, but now I'm done" moment. The same way Cassie's lawsuit cracked open the dam, this leak is Nicki saying, "Don't play with me. I got archives." And remember, Nicki has always been two things, strategic and petty. So if you thought she was going to let Meek skate by while pretending he's some innocent victim caught in Diddy's whirlwind, think again. Meanwhile, Diddy's camp is reportedly in panic mode. Allegedly, phones are being wiped, legal teams are being reshuffled, and NDAs from years ago are suddenly being reviewed. One insider even claimed that the room in the footage was the same one used during Diddy's now infamous theme nights, which, if you don't know, are basically hush-hush evenings filled with drugs, phones in bags, and unspoken rules. As for Meek, he hasn't said a word since the footage leaked. No tweets, no statements, no lives. Just silence, which in 2024 is basically a confession. But don't get too comfortable, because if part one of this scandal is already this explosive, part two is where the fire really hits the gas line. Because next, we're diving into the actual footage, the fake investigator report, and the internet's wildest theories yet. And trust us, the tea only gets hotter. So, let's talk about the footage. Allegedly filmed at one of Diddy's infamous private-only gatherings in Miami, the clip that leaked via an anonymous Telegram drop is less than a minute long. But baby, it says more than a 30-minute red table talk. Blurry, dim, and clearly shot from a corner angle, the video shows what appears to be Meek Mill seated beside Diddy, both shirtless, both visibly intoxicated, and both, let's just say, not maintaining the standard rapper posture. The audio is muffled, but fans claim they can hear a woman, reportedly Nicki Minaj, say, "Should I keep recording? Or is this enough?" And that right there sent the internet into full meltdown mode. Because if this is real, and that's a big if some folks are still debating, it means Nicki not only had access to one of Diddy's tightest inner circle moments, but she also knew exactly what kind of power she was sitting on. Now, let's not act like this is the first time Diddy's been accused of hosting ritual-style parties. Former bodyguards, ex-assistants, even former lovers have described these gatherings as industry obedience tests, where celebrities, especially up-and-coming rappers, were allegedly coerced into humiliating or compromising situations in exchange for favor, clout, and connections. An anonymous source who claims to have catered one of these events told Faux Vibe Online, "The party was invite-only. No plus ones. Phones got locked at the door. I remember seeing Meek walk in, looking nervous, but Diddy had his arm around him. He whispered something in his ear, and they disappeared upstairs. Nobody asked questions, that's just how it worked." Now add Nicki Minaj to that equation. She's never been one to hold back. And the fact that she allegedly had the presence of mind to record one of these moments, that's not pettiness, that's insurance. Let's be honest, if you're Nicki, and your ex is running around pretending to be a boss while privately letting another man spoon-feed him organic strawberries in silk shorts, allegedly, you're gonna want receipts. Especially when that ex has spent years sneak dissing you in interviews on Twitter, and even through lyrics. And y'all know the Barbs? They didn't waste a second. Within minutes of the footage hitting group chats, fans had already zoomed, enhanced, analyzed body movements, and even compared tattoo placements. Several claimed that Meek Mill can be seen holding something in his hand, a champagne glass in one frame, and allegedly Diddy's hand in the next. One TikTok creator even put together a 3-minute breakdown titled, Proof that Meek Mill let Diddy baby him while Nicki watched loudly crying face. And yes, it got over 3.2 million views in a day. Let's talk public reaction, shall we? Twitter was on fire. I knew Meek was soft the day Nicki said he folded in front of her mom. This confirms everything, wrote one user. So, Diddy got this man hopping like a bunny for Michael Rubin, and allegedly cuddling with him too? Meek got the worst PR team of all time, tweeted another. One even said, Nicki is playing 5D chess, while Meek's still trying to beat checkers. But wait, because it gets messy, eh? An alleged insider from Diddy's security detail came forward in a since-deleted thread, claiming that Nicki Minaj wasn't just a bystander, she was invited. And not just invited. She was allegedly there with knowledge that Diddy was trying to test Meek's loyalty. Let that sink in. This wasn't just revenge. This was an operation. According to the thread, Nicki knew that night was a trap. Diddy knew Meek couldn't say no. He needed favor, exposure, protection. And Nicki needed the tape. Allegedly, the party was themed obedience and opulence. Yeah, because that doesn't sound cult-like at all. And everyone who attended was either dressed in white robes or shirtless, wearing body chains. Several guests, according to fake leaked guest lists, included a handful of high-level execs from streaming platforms, a fashion designer known for leather-only outfits, and one rapper who is definitely not straight, despite the flexing. Now here's the part that really sent fans over the edge. In the video, a voice that sounds exactly like Diddy is heard saying, "Don't be scared. This is how legends are made." And that's when Meek Mill allegedly nods and, well, let's just say the next scene made even some barbs close the tab and reopen it 3 times just to confirm what they saw. Meanwhile, let's not forget how hard Meek has worked to distance himself from anything even hinting at Diddy since the scandals began. His tweet storms? His mini-documentaries on fatherhood? His little speech about real men don't entertain lies? Yeah, all of that looks real shaky now. But what's worse is that this is only the beginning. Because if this footage is real, and insiders are saying it's not even the worst clip Nicki has, then we're entering uncharted territory. Rumors are now flying that Nicki may have an entire folder of what fans are calling rapper receipts, footage, messages, audio clips, everything. Some are even claiming that Nicki was once invited to join Diddy's inner circle but walked away, and that's why she's still standing while others are getting buried under lawsuits and allegations. One alleged former stylist for Nicki said in a clubhouse room, Nicki saw what was happening and dipped. She never drank at those parties. She stayed alert, and she kept everything on backup. Meanwhile, Meek hasn't posted. Diddy hasn't commented. And the footage? Still spreading like wildfire, with new voiceovers, fake reenactments, and even AI-enhanced versions trying to reconstruct the entire night. As wild as it all sounds, the timing of this leak couldn't be worse for Diddy. The man is under investigation. Multiple lawsuits are open. Assets are reportedly being frozen. Associates are either cooperating or vanishing from the spotlight. And now, one of his parties, one of his most protected, NDA-heavy events, is potentially about to become the internet's most analyzed video since surviving R. Kelly. Oh, and remember how 50 Cent threw shade at Meek for wearing matching outfits with Diddy? Well, now fans are calling him a prophet. 50 knew. He always knew. One user tweeted with a clip of 50 saying, "These boys out here doing things for power they'll regret forever." As we roll into part 3, the fallout from this leaked footage is already shaking up the timeline. Because if this is just one clip, what happens if more leaks? How many other rappers were tested in these parties? How far did Diddy's alleged control go? And more importantly, how long has Nicki been holding back? Because baby, if this was chess, she just screamed checkmate. So, what happens when Nicki Minaj leaks footage that flips the internet upside down, allegedly exposes Meek Mill in his most vulnerable moment, and ties Diddy to yet another bizarre, secret party full of power plays? You get absolute panic. Silence. Lawyers dialing phones like their lives depend on it. And a digital cleanup crew scrambling like roaches when the lights come on. Because let's be very clear, this wasn't just another, oops, something leaked situation. This was a targeted drop. A surgical strike. A calculated move that shattered the illusion of invincibility that Diddy and Meek were both clinging to. And now, the fallout is hitting harder than anyone expected. Let's start with Meek Mill. Remember when he was always tweeting, posting grainy gym selfies, telling us how real ones move in silence? Well, silence is the only thing he's had since the clip leaked. Not a tweet, not a repost, not even a cryptic emoji. Fans are speculating that his team has completely shut him down. Allegedly, his PR team went into full lockdown mode within minutes of the footage surfacing. Some insiders claim he was told to stay off social media, cancel press, and prepare for media warfare. Others say he's considering legal action against Nicki Minaj, which, let's be honest, is the definition of audacity. Meanwhile, others are asking the real question: why sue if it's fake? Because if the clip was doctored or AI generated, like some fans are trying to suggest, wouldn't Meek have rushed to clear his name? Instead, the silence is deafening. Now, let's talk about Diddy. The man is no stranger to crisis, but this time things feel different. Insiders say Diddy's legal team has gone into containment mode. All former employees and guests at his past parties have reportedly been issued fresh NDA reminders. One source even claimed that private investigators have been hired to find out how Nicki got the footage and, more importantly, what else she has. Because here's the real kicker. Apparently, that leaked clip is just one of many. Yep. Word on the street is that Nicki Minaj has a vault. A digital archive of behind-the-scenes chaos, quiet moments of exposure, and whispered confessions from some of the biggest names in hip-hop. How she got it? No one knows. But fans have theories. Some say Nicki was playing industry chess the entire time. That while other artists were popping bottles and getting high, she was documenting, observing, saving clips. Like a one-woman TMZ, but smarter, pettier, and 100% with a purpose. And now, she's allegedly ready to go nuclear. One fan account with 50K followers posted, "Y'all don't get it. That wasn't a leak. That was a warning shot." She's letting the industry know, play with me again and I'll press upload. And honestly, they might be right, because the timing of this leak is beyond poetic. Diddy is facing multiple lawsuits, including RICO-level accusations involving abuse, trafficking, and coercion. Meek is trying to launch a business rebrand, stepping into tech and education partnerships. And Nicki? She's had enough. One anonymous friend of Nicki allegedly told the Culture Drop she was done being quiet. Meek has spent years spinning narratives about her, trying to play victim when he was the one running around with Diddy doing wild stuff and trying to cover it up. Nicki kept the footage, and when the time was right, she let it out. So, where does that leave the industry? Scared. Because if Nicki could hold this kind of bombshell for years, who else is sitting on receipts? How many other high-profile artists are just one leak away from complete reputation destruction? According to fake reports, but believable in this satire, several major industry heads have gone into full-blown damage control mode. Some artists are allegedly deleting old Diddy party photos. Others are reassessing brand deals. And one particularly paranoid rapper is rumored to be switching phones every 2 days, just in case someone's watching. Meanwhile, fans are eating this up like it's Thanksgiving dinner. Reddit threads, Discord chats, TikTok conspiracy breakdowns. The entire internet has become one giant digital detective agency. Did you see the champagne glass in Meek's hand? That wasn't a robe, it was Diddy's bathrobe. The voice in the background says, "He's doing great." Who is he talking about? Even fake AI recreations are circulating now. One clip claims to show the full 2-minute uncut version, with subtitles like, "Meek, I'm not comfortable, bro. Diddy, it's part of the process." Of course, none of this has been confirmed. But in the court of public opinion, confirmation is optional. Chaos is king. And Nicki? She's sitting on her throne, sipping her tea, and pretending she's innocent. Her last post? A selfie captioned, "Told y'all not to play with me, nail polish, #Megatron moves." Now here's the wildest part. Some fans are suggesting that Nicki is planning a full expose album. Yep, you read that right. Rumors say she's working on a project that would detail her experiences with industry execs, fake relationships, toxic collaborators, and yes, even Diddy's private parties. They're calling it the pink print and censored. Whether that's true or not, one thing is certain. Nicki Minaj has just changed the game. This isn't just tea. This is legacy war. And here's what's even scarier. No one's safe anymore. Because if Meek Mill can be exposed like that, what about the others? What about the men who stood silent while Diddy allegedly built his empire of control? What about the artists who knew, who watched, who benefited? This one leak has created a ripple that threatens to swallow the entire elite circle whole. Now, let's talk consequences. Lawyers are reportedly circling Nicki, but she's allegedly unbothered, claiming she broke no laws and has nothing to hide. Diddy's team is allegedly preparing an emergency injunction, but with how fast the footage spread, it's already too late. As for Meek, his silence may speak volumes, but fans are now demanding he go live, address the video, or at least say something. Because the longer he waits, the louder the whispers get. And if there's anything Nicki's making clear, it's this. Silence won't save you. Receipts will destroy you. So now we turn to you, the viewer. What do you think really happened in that room? Do you believe Nicki's footage was real? Was Meek just another pawn in Diddy's twisted empire? Or is this all part of a deeper plot? One that's only just beginning? Is there more footage on the way? Is Nicki building toward the ultimate industry takedown? One thing's for sure. The Barbs came to play. And this time, they didn't bring glitter. They brought evidence. Stay tuned, because if this is part 1 of Nicki's revenge era, we can only imagine what part 2 looks like. Hit that like, smash that subscribe, and drop a comment below. Was Meek caught lacking, or was Nicki just playing the long game? See you in the next expose.